Okay. Hey everyone, yeah, I made it down to DC for the animal rights march. I got here, I missed the rally that started out first day, so I just made it here, and this is the march. It's actually going by the location where Moms Against Gun Violence was also holding an action earlier today. There we go. And for my New York people, hey Debbie. Yeah, we're in DC right now. Don't forget the New York City March coming up in 2 weeks. 2 more weeks, New York City. Don't forget, guys. Yeah. If you haven't seen any of the New York City stuff, definitely take a look at it. Horse racing. That's another one that's been a big thing in New York. I haven't seen anyone out at the racetracks recently, but for New York, but it is continuously going on. For those of you who don't know, this march is also going right past Trump's hotel down here in DC. And keep in mind that in addition to this march, you also have the march going on around the world, in London specifically today. And then other marches that are coming up locally over the next week, next 2 weeks, specifically the New York City one. Okay, it's in the description, but again, if you, this is the international animal rights protests in Washington, D.C. Also, at this time, you have the official Animal Rights March of 2019 in Washington, D.C. You also have marches going on in London as well and other places. And I actually just got down here just a little while ago. Right now, I'm actually sharing this out as well. actually think the security guards and the Trump International Hotel are slightly relieved because they seem to have come outside, and when they realized it wasn't Trump, they seem to be a little relieved. This looks like a rowdy bunch. Of course, all the kids and everyone. And as you can see, we're headed up towards the Capitol now. And as always, please, go ahead and share this out. Invite your friends to watch. If you can, go ahead and create a watch party and sit and have a conversation with your friends. Maybe on where do you stand on animal rights, veganism, open the dialogue. Thank you, Debbie. And Michael. Well, yeah, actually, because the subways were messing up in New York this morning, so where I ended up staying last night, I had to jump on the one train, and they were stopping at like 137th, so it was like a roundabout, so I actually missed the original bus I wanted to catch, so I actually got down here an hour later than I intended. I actually wanted to be here for the rally, but I'm pretty sure they'll be doing a speak out once they reach the Capitol, and I'll definitely ask some questions of people. Go ahead and continue to share it out. I know it's a Saturday. Some people sleeping late from the night before. And if you actually look at the fights, especially in New York City, just because I'm there, I see a lot more of it. The fight is ongoing. Earlier this week, you had Madison Square Garden is getting ready about the 2020 National Rodeo Tournaments at Madison Square Garden. You had a group that was out there actually encouraging Madison Square Garden, urging Madison Square Garden to say no to rodeos and MSG. So it's really is an ongoing fight, and regardless of how you stand on things regarding veganism and vegetarian or non, the beginning that people have to agree on, which should be a no-brainer, is that, animals, as we viewed them for so long, people viewed them as not really having emotions, feelings, but in reality they do. There is a repercussion to this. And it's nothing against what was done in the past, because, you know, thousands, hundreds, thousands of years of humanity along other animals, you know, species do what they need to do. But at this point, it is an opportunity for humanity to evolve to a next level. And that's one, is acknowledging the fact that animals do suffer. Animals are oppressed. And I hate to say it to even my dog and cat loving friends. Yeah, I mean, we own cats and dogs. That is actually a form of oppression. I know everyone says they're doing it for their own good, but there's a reason why cats and dogs will run off once they get outside. They may come back, but freedom. But this is a larger conversation. I mean, you see them showing pigs, chickens, cows, the farming industry, you know, not to mention the environmental impact of that industry. But I think what I want to say, it's not just that. I mean, you have, you know, within our wildlife sanctuaries, within the woods, within the mountains, when you have certain people deciding that fox or wolves need to be exterminated by dropping cyanide gas in there. I mean, I know some crows that are a hell of a lot smarter than most people I know. And it's not meant as a joke, it's meant as a serious statement. I mean, people talk about pigs being smart, which they are extremely smart, but there's a number of animals across the spectrum that have what people would consider intelligence that they can recognize, but it goes beyond that. They have emotion, they care about their young. They have family groups. They have connections, bonds. I would only hope that at some point in the future, if we do venture out there among the stars and there's a species that considers us to be nothing but cattle, that someone in their world would rise up to fight to end depression against us. And yes, I do have a lot to say on this subject and from a lot of different angles, but again, I wouldn't be down here. Let's put it this way, I never cover anything that I don't care about. I never cover anything that I don't think is important and vital for humanity. And I know I probably should be getting news footage, but I'm just going to be streaming. He's got to say, yeah. defend animals. You'll see that banner in the New York Animal Rights parade coming up in a week or two. So the group is currently marching down Pennsylvania Avenue towards the U.S. Capitol. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but yeah, you might want to watch it. And while you're actually sharing this out, everyone, I'd appreciate it if you could also go ahead and share it to Twitter. I'm actually going to try and do that in a second as well. sorry guys, I was had to go ahead and make a tweet to go ahead and share this out. Okay, guys. Yeah, I just sent a tweet out over my Twitter account. You can find it at, of course, the @ symbol and then OWS SPAWG. I'd appreciate it if you guys could reshare that as well.
Human freedom, animal rights. Animal oppression. And all animal oppression. And 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 animal oppression. And animal oppression. And animal oppression. And animal oppression. Today's slaughter is a lie. Animals do not want to die. Today's slaughter is a lie. Animals do not want to die. Today's slaughter is a lie. Animals do not want to die. Animal slaughter is not a fashion. Where the hell is your compassion? Goose down is not a fashion. Where the hell is your compassion? Animal skin is not a fashion. Where the hell is your compassion? Fair trade. Shut it down. Louder trade. Shut it down. Royal trade. Shut it down. Dairy trade. Shut it down. Meat trade. Shut it down. Silver trade. Shut it down. The truth is unstoppable. Another world is possible. The truth is unstoppable. Another world is possible. The truth is unstoppable. Another world is possible. After the paper. Set them free. Fight for trade. Set them free. After the paper. Set them free. One struggle, one fight. Human freedom, animal rights. One struggle, one fight. Human freedom, animal rights. One struggle, one fight. Human freedom, animal rights. End all animal oppression. 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 Southern trade. Heavy trade. Meat trade. Southern trade. Truth is unstoppable. The truth is unstoppable. The truth is unstoppable. The cages. Break the chains. Empty the tanks. One struggle, one fight. One struggle, one fight. Human freedom, animal rights. One struggle, one fight. Human freedom, animal rights. End all animal oppression. End all animal
they're reaching a lot of people, which is part of the overall objective. In addition to doing the march, is also getting the message out. Getting the message out to the general public. These marches grow over time, and especially in the U.S. Again, as I said, please go ahead and share it out and invite people to watch. While I'm streaming on this, I really can't see how many people are watching or not watching. And even though I had the other phone and I was checking, it was hard for me to actually gauge an idea of anything. As you can see, they're marching down Pennsylvania Avenue towards the U.S. Capitol. This is the National Animal Rights March for 2019 here in Washington, D.C. Currently, there are marches taking place around the world, including London, which had been doing it for a while. Also, if you happen to be watching, if you're enjoying the stream, the march itself, there's a link up in the description. If you could go ahead and even make a $2 donation to help keep me streaming and actually getting from place to place to actually cover some of the events going on, it would be greatly appreciated. And I want to give a big shout out to those who last night when I put out the request to get down here actually stepped up and made sure I had the money to get down here to cover this today. I really appreciate that. And to everyone else who's been helping over the months and years since I've been streaming out here. I really do appreciate it. And once again, just like I said, if you're enjoying this stream and any other streams over the last 3-4 years, even if you can donate $2, it adds up and it goes a long way to making sure I can get to events like this and others. And also keep streaming up and keep on working, improving not just the stream itself, but also the channels in which I can actually put information out about what's going on. And yes, I will be doing the donation link on all future live streams at least for the next month. And asking folks if they can donate $2. Even if they donate $2, there are a number of streams which I've had where looking back at the stream when it was happening, even afterwards, there are a few where the numbers reach up to like 30,000 people who viewed it, and I see how long in which they viewed it and stuff. That's my objective, is to reach as many people as possible when I'm doing this, so that people can be made aware of what's happening. But yeah, things have a tendency to get stretched thin. That's not just me. It's also a lot of the other people who live stream and cover events, not just here, but also around the country, whether in D.C., New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, in Ohio, the RNC, the DNC. People are always covering. So the support of everyone out there is a huge difference. Okay, so which way are they going? And I mentioned that 30,000. I mean, yeah, there are streams where even I've seen 2,000 within 2 days views on it, and that's a lot. And people do help, but what I find a lot of times is the exact same people who are doing it, and not that I don't appreciate that, and it is a big help, but my original idea was that if you had enough people that were interested in watching the stream over and over, that if each of them were to donate $1 or $2, one, it's something that would be a lot more affordable for a lot of people, and two, it wouldn't put the pressure on others to put out more in order to do that. It's sort of like spreading it out through a collective, in a sense.
End all animal oppression!
you don't think that live streaming has an impact, I can count more times than fingers, toes, than people are in this march. I can count more times than that people have come up to me and said they found out about the event because of the live stream. From myself, from people like Stop Motion Soto, Pelagati, from Eric McGregor with his photos. Some may think that we're not reaching a lot of people, but we are reaching a lot of people when this happens. And it helps people to plug in. And that's one of the reasons why the support is so important. The last RNC DNC, I was only able to get there because a number of people stepped up to make sure I could get to the RNC and the DNC convention. And then a friend, let me stay at their place while I was down there. And then the camp when we were out at the DNC. But again, like I said, if you're watching the stream, you enjoy it. If everyone took a chance even for 1 year, just donate that $2. If everyone who actually watched the streams actually did that, I don't see there actually being a major issue in terms of being able to maintain the streams, making sure that there was sufficient equipment, helping out other streamers, which I've done in the past. Enough of me. Sorry guys, but I have to do that. What you're looking at right now is the U.S. Capitol. And they've just entered the driveway here at 3rd. And actually, for me, this is the first time I've seen this group going to the U.S. Capitol, at least marching. And I'm pretty sure they have been down here and marched to the U.S. Capitol before. Normally, this is the sort of the same route that we would take with the Millions Mass March in November. Had a lot of multitudes of interactions up that walkway. It's supposed to be 85 degrees down here, and it's supposed to be their alert index says it's supposed to feel like 95. It definitely feels like 95, humid. So it takes a lot for dedication for a group to be marching out in something like this. These and others around the world are dedicated to this. And before anyone says anything, a large number of the people that I know from New York have been out with other groups on other issues. So they do show up in solidarity. May not be in mass, but a lot of them do show up for actions for other groups out there. They understand there are other issues going on, but this is something their main focus. Okay, so they're coming up to the statue, which I actually love. So currently we're in Washington, D.C. at the National Animal Rights March 2019 here in Washington, D.C. There are other marches taking place around the country. A major march taking place in London today also, and other places around the world. This is basically a national day. You always have to have someone who just does it because he needs the attention, which is sort of stupid. It's about respecting what others. So currently they're walking up to the U.S. Capitol, and the walkway is normally open, but with the march they're directing them onto the lawn, where there's a larger space there also. I think the pattern is to avoid having the protest directly on the steps. I think our group was like one of the only ones that actually got to the steps once or twice, at least recently as far as I know, during an event. But that was also about knowing the actual laws of the Capitol. Okay, so I'm assuming they're going to have a speak out on the lawn.
How many?
Sorry guys, I'm sort of like taking a walkway because there's a little bit of a shade, here. So people forget that dogs and cats are actually being slaughtered for food. And anyone who actually has a pet dog, pet cat should also understand one of the reasons why they're doing that as well. If you feel that your dogs and cats have emotions, then this would be something you should be getting behind. And I can't think of how many people talk about all the emotions that their pets have.
Leather trim! No trim! No trim! No trim! Human freedom, animal rights! End all animal oppression! End all animal oppression! End all animal oppression! End all animal oppression! Guys! Hey! Animals do not want to die! Leo! Guys! Guys! Hello! Hey! Guys! Leo! Leo! Guys, listen! Can you hear me? Listen! We can continue to cheer, but you have to face your megaphones away from the Capitol, or they'll make us stop. So if you face your megaphones that way, we can continue to have some fun on the steps of our Capitol here in our nation.
So that's the key. The megaphones can't, not for this, I'm thinking about future stuff, just they can't have the megaphone race. That is, yeah, because one time there was another one, Kavanaugh.
Animal oppression!
But they had the megaphones there and they came, that was the No, it's good to know there are always like these little regulations you don't always know, so I appreciate it.
Animals do not want to die! Humane slaughter is a lie! Animals do not want to die!
Okay, so what they were saying is that if you're protesting in front of the Capitol, you can't have the megaphones or sound devices facing the Capitol. When you're out here, part of the reason for that is so that those inside are less likely to be disturbed by those who have come to DC to redress their grievances. Because I know a number of times in which people have actually come out on the balcony up there because of the people out here. So.
Unstoppable! unstoppable. Another world is possible. The truth is unstoppable. Another world is possible. One struggle, one fight. Human freedom, animal rights. 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 End all animal oppression. 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 End all animal oppression.
You guys sound fantastic.
Humane slaughter is alive! Humane slaughter is alive! Humane slaughter is alive! Animals do not want to die! Animal fur is not fashion! Goose down is not
Horse racing
fashion!
kills horse. After also those in New York remember the horse carriage protests that went on for years, promises from de Blasio and others. Yeah, if you were on board with those events, horse racing is another serious issue.
So real quick. So, anyone that took photo or live stream, I forgot to mention this before we started, but if you can hashtag it the official Animal Rights March. I know it's lengthy, but it's what surge activism out of the UK wants us. You can put DC on the end of it or not. I would prefer that you do, but at a minimum it needs to be spelled out. The official Animal Rights March.
The official
For
animal
those of you
rights
that
march.
here, we are regrouping at 4:30 to do a little fur protest. We're going to meet at the corner of G and 9. So I would encourage you all to come out because the fur industry is disgusting. I mean, all animal exploitation industries are disgusting. But fur is so close, guys. Like, designers are dropping it left and right. And it will be the first industry to actually change. And so we need to keep the pressure on, and we need to keep shaming fur wearers because it's disgusting, it's about status, and it's gross. And so we're going to try to get a group photo.
Can we have everyone turn around so we have this in the background and have the banners in the front for a group photo? I love you all so much.
Okay, if you're sharing this out, or also the tweet, tweet, use the official Animal Rights Protest DC as a hashtag, and I'm getting ready to use that hashtag anyway right now.
We're going for leaner and meaner. So feel free to come forward. Big banners to the front, please. Signs up. Show those bigger muscles. Where's that big black banner? Folks, join us for the group photo. Come on. Give everyone another minute to get here. 30 seconds for the group photo. Historic day. People on the sidelines, come join us. Woo! End all animal oppression! 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 End all
Just. Okay, good. Set. No. Okay. Good. Nope. Okay. Yes. Okay. Nope. Until they get there further.
So for anyone that's not aware, there is actually a march in Richmond 4 weeks from today. It's September 14th. It starts with a march, then it's going to be a Vets Fest. So the Vets Fest is first, and then the march, then there'll be a queue. But it's 4 weeks from today. It's in Richmond, Virginia. It's on September 14th. It starts at 4:30. One thing about the first protest, I encourage you all to join us, just because we're all out here. We were going to gather at 4, but we're a little out of schedule, so we can technically say 4:50. I'm sorry, we said we're going to be 4:30. We can say 4:15 if you want it. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys are actually attending, but let's just keep it at 4:30. So we're going to meet at 4:30 at the corner of the gallery stand on
You want to go?
Okay, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. Thanks everyone that helped me get down here, even though I was running a little late. I am going to stick around for the other action a little bit later, specifically because I missed the Canadian Goose action in New York City, which, as you know, I normally would have been there. But there's a lot of stuff going on. Was going on at that time regarding Eric Garner and Pantaleo. So, it gets stretched sometimes. My time gets stretched. But thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and take the stream down. I will see everyone on the front lines. I will be back up later today. Solidarity forever. And don't forget September 17th, Occupy Wall Street, 8-year anniversary. Be there or be square.